first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? On the return, it's Coates. And able to get this out to the 25. Burrow on play action. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 12.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's Sam Martin now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Iowa State product, it's Kene Nwangu. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win again here in Detroit, they'd pull off the season sweep. On the give is Nwangu. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll try and run it here. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
On the return, it's Coates. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Let's go!
The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Kene Nwangu with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he gets in. But no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. On the return, it's Coates. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Pass incomplete. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Burrow. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
56 yards on the ground for him so far. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Give left side here for Nwangu. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Handoff right side, Nwangu. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a give, running left is Nwangu. Nifty move. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Here we go. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Handoff here to Nwangu. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run with Nwangu, and this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. A gain of a yard. It's now
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. They'll drop to throw. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now it's Nwangu. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. He'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Kene Nwangu in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
On the return, it's Coates. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend. in the NFL. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll host the Washington football team. In the late afternoon games, one of the best of the bunch will be at Soldier Field in Chicago, where it'll be the Bears taking on the New York Giants.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. At their own 25-yard line.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 121 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Here's Nwangu. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The reception good for 7. It's third down. On the run is Nwangu. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. Now a throw here to his running back. Shifts by him, and it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Nwangu. Oh, able to avoid him.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kene Nwangu with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. On the return, it's Coates. And he returns this to the 22. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
First down, here's Burrow. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down. But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Here we go. Here we go. Start. Strong right. Right in. Start.
Swift. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Burrow looking to pass. Looking for Hockenson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Riley Patterson now for the extra point. He's got it to bring it back to 28-7 now. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He'll have a 1st down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at their 48-yard line.
They'll go right back to Nwangu, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will have a Vikings 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Now a give running right, Nwangu. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Gets past one man, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 168 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And now here's a carry heading left. Fighting through at the 25. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And quickly they get to the line. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. Open space inside the 10. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Obviously, a big play was needed. And you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll go with a keeper, and he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Prater on to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He's at the 50. 30. Past the 20. 10. And can you believe this? It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Good job.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Hey. 4 down.
From midfield now, Burrow. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A big play there for Detroit. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Caught left side, Hopkins. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Now it's Burrow. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's third and goal after the sack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.